And this is KLBP, coming out of the Devero Sound Experience, the Westerino Show on 99.1 FM, low power FM, the Long Beach Radio Project. Today, we've got our first musical guest.
Very excited about this.
Very excited about this. Been watching him play. It's been a lot of fun. Divine Weeks. And this is Jeff Guarino
and Dean Westerfield. And also with us, we've got Raj Makwana and Bill C. of Divine Weeks. And we will be talking to them in just a second. And also, you're going to be hearing some live performances. We got 3 songs that they're going to play for us.
And we'll also be covering, believe it or not, last week was DC Comics, the mega multiverse of DC comic books, Superman, Batman, and the like. And this week we'll be talking a bit about Marvel Comics, the other big, huge superhero publishing house.
I'm going to clarify that. Jeff's going to be talking about Marvel because I know nothing about Marvel.
You know a few things. You know Doctor Strange by Steve Ditko.
A little bit.
You know Jack Kirby, the man, the king.
All right, well, let's jump into this. Our bumper music today was Divine Weeks. The song was called The Joy and the Wonder. It's off their new album, See Those Landing Lights. And I guess we got to backtrack a little bit on this. I first saw Divine Weeks play in 1987, and a friend of mine, we're at college, and he said, "Hey, we go see a band play?" I go, "Okay, sure." And he says, "This is a really cool band," and it was at Club Lingerie. And I was not 21, and Charlie said, "You'll get in, you'll get in." Went down there, and my birthday was like a few weeks before, my 20th birthday, and that's why I know it was 1987. And he just told me, "Just tell him your birthday was last week. You turned 21 last week." So I went up there, and he looked at my car and went, "You're not 21. Get out of here." I go, "Wait, my birthday was last week." And he looked at it, he goes, "Oh, yeah." And we walked in, and we got to see Divine Weeks. And it was a blast to watch you guys. Just heart on your sleeve, open, just really enjoyable. And I saw you guys a bunch of times since then. And then I guess I started college a little more seriously, and I lost touch. Yeah. But you guys broke up in what year roughly?
It's like 1992.
And then you got back together. You've always been friends, I know this.
Yes.
But you guys got back together musically about a year ago?
Well, I see that you've got that book sitting right there.
Talk about the book.
I guess we'll give it a plug. Bill wrote this really cool book called 33 Days, Touring in a Van, Sleeping on Floors, and Chasing a Dream. And it's about Divine Weeks' first tour.
Right.
And it's broken down into 33 days, and you just give us blow by blow. And we talked earlier about all this, so... Can you talk about the genesis of this? I think it's a very interesting story how you started it.
But essentially that was source of some healing and a bridge to eventually what became unintentionally the Divine Weeks reunion that brings us here now. But to sort of circle back, I had kept enormous numbers of journals. I always had. My mom was sort of always a writer, and so I picked that up from her. And I took those on tour, and I just wrote it down, not really intending it to be anything, just collecting some thoughts to keep myself sane. And I just threw them all into a box one day, and then I found them, I think in the mid-'90s, and it just seemed sort of overwhelming to do anything with them. And then my sister reappeared in my life, who had been given up for adoption, and she said, "Write me a letter, tell me what I missed growing up." And so I was just going to send her this little thing, and I just kept writing, and I had this just ton of stuff, this tome, and I'd call her up and say, "I'll give you this, but I think it's going to be something else." And that's essentially what became the first chapter of the book. That's cool. I just weaved the letter to her, and the background of my growing up and what led to meeting Raj in high school and standing up on Mulholland Drive and looking down over the city lights and saying, "Let's do it better than anyone ever did it before." And that's sort of the dream that sort of, just arrogance and blind stupidity, meet and become.
Those are essential ingredients to any artistic endeavor. Yeah,
better believe it.
I guess what I just really enjoyed about it was you guys were just so. I don't know if I want to say the word innocent, but innocent open to things. And I know you guys struggled there early on. I know, Raj, you were maybe not as quite connected, and at some point it just kind of clicks. But it was so much fun just listening to I say listening when I was reading. I was listening to it in my head. But reading just about those shifts and just how things have changed. can you want to do a little talk about some of the maybe the changes, the fun, the pain? I'm gonna kind of let you guys lead that a little bit.
Yeah, it was interesting because across the 33 days, at least speaking for myself, the first segment of the tour, I'd never been out on my own, and
Nor I.
no Bill, yeah, and these guys had such a great, hey, we're out there in a great wide open, let's embrace it. And I was kind of fearful of that a little bit, coming from a family of very tight, close-knit family, and there were some personal issues going on with the family, and so we went out on the road and we played live shows, and like we were talking earlier, anytime there was some downtime on the road, I would just go crazy. It's like I needed that live show to keep me going. But during the shows, during the tour, some things would happen. You get more and more into it, and there were some pivotal moments that Bill talks about in the book. And we did grow up during that tour. Those 33 days. Obviously, it took longer than 33 days for us to grow up, but something happened out there when you go out and you're so innocent and you see things and experience things you just haven't seen or experienced in a long time or at all. All of a sudden you come out 33 days later and wow, that was something that's going to stay with me for the rest of my life and shape who we are. And obviously, and like Bill was saying, we met in 8th grade and we've just been idiots since then. And we started playing music in 10th grade, and something just happened there where we left as these 4 guys kind of, waiting for a bus, and then you ended up being a great, what we thought was a great band at the time, but so much deeper than that.
Yeah. He's actually being really modest. I mean, Raj overcame incredible cultural constraints and racism growing up in England, and type of stuff I don't want on anybody. He has my admiration as a lifelong friend. He overcame quite a bit.
Yeah,
and we covered a
lot of that was really touching,
yeah.
And just even sharing that I would think would be difficult.
Yeah, I think when there was a point in the tour, and we've all gone through this individually, where we talk about this on a new record, where music is your salvation. And when you leave on tour, you kind of, those first few weeks, we almost, or at least speaking for myself, I almost forgot that. I know I wanted to play live and you feed off of each other. But then at the end, you go, there was so much healing done during those 33 days from past demons that we all held. And where we just, there was a point I remember, I think it was in... it was when we got back to the States. We just were playing these crazy shows, and it was just abandonment at that point. We're just turning to each other. All we have is the 4 of us and our music, and I've got my guitar. And I remember we played this show shortly after this incident, and I just threw my guitar against this wall and walked off. And after, it didn't even dawn on me until after, and then Bill comes back, and he's like, all I could say to him was, "Is my guitar okay?" Yeah. you just lose your mind.
I remember seeing you play, and do you have any memory of this? I remember Charlie would stand there, and he would do I'm acting on the radio. It doesn't make sense. But
good radio.
He would do something like he would mime hitting his guitar on the ground.
Yeah.
And you would do that. I remember you just go wham at the end of a song. Bang. Do you have any memory of that?
I do.
Okay. I don't remember you throwing it, because I remember reading that I was like, damn, punching it through doing the Pete Townsend through the ceilings.
Well, in my defense, when there's a cymbal flying at you, you have to just defend yourself. So Dave Smidinsky are amazing.
He almost killed our manager once. He I was gonna say a javelin. It was more like a shot put. Took the guitar and we were playing Occidental College. Unfortunately, it was like a big grass field, but he just literally shot putted the guitar, and it literally sailed right past your eyes.
I mean, you guys were such sweet, mild-mannered people, but then there's that little bit of wildness there. And Bill climbing on everything. I don't know if you remember this, but it was that first time I saw you. Do you remember you came into the Club Lingerie? There was a wall, and it was a sunken floor.
Right.
And I remember you climbing up along that wall and singing from up there.
Club Lingerie, you're talking about, because there was always such distance. We hated playing clubs where people were not forced to come close.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was so frustrating, especially Club Lingerie. We always used to call you dealing with everybody with their arms all folded.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the whole idea.
That was probably me. Sorry, I apologize.
But you came back. So
it was figuratively, literally trying to project this sort of prying those arms on, and they were always up there by the bar, good 20 yards away.
Oh, we hated that.
Yeah.
And I still do.
I'm sure every band does, right? Every band wants everybody up front.
I don't know. We just in a room full of 100 or 200, 199 could be totally into us, and the one guy leaning against the bar with his arms folded, we were utterly obsessed with that one guy.
Absolutely.
That has always been the way it's been. Like, great gig, yeah, but that one guy, Jesus Christ, just driving me insane all night. So.
It's like, come on, just join the party. It's okay.
So.
All right. Do you think we should let's go to a song? What do you guys think? You guys up for a song?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I guess you're going to play Heart and Soul?
Yeah, first
Sounds
song
good.
on the new record.
Do you want to say anything about it, or do you want to just jump right into it?
That was the very first song that Raj and I wrote for the new record. There was no designs on it being Divine Weeks. We just, like I said, we came out of the book feeling a little bit curious about if we could write again. We had not written for a number of years. We sat down, what we call eyeball to eyeball, and it's one of those songs you write and you go, who's talking and to whom? Because it was this song that was like scolding. Who's scolding who? What? It was this song about why are you pretending you don't need this? And of course it was us talking to ourselves. We'd left something behind, and that's essentially what this record is about. I don't have to say it's a rock opera, but I mean, there's a thematic thing running about sort of getting rid of the things that prevent you from recapturing your true essence.
Yeah.
So
well said. So anyways, we're going to move on to this is Heart and Soul by Divine Weeks on KLBP.
But your smile betrays you. Is that some kind of con? My eyes can see again. My ears are songs. My heart is my church and my muse. It was there all along. Lift me up, take me higher than the soul could hold. Fill me up with desire in my heart and soul. And God only knows, it's my heart and soul. I've been out wandering, a million roads I've roamed. Suddenly I see a hobo sign, a life that carried me home. And I know it saved you, and how you got your scars. The heart is my church and my muse. It was there all along. Lift me up, take me higher than the soul could hold. Fill me up with desire in my heart and soul. God only knows, it's my heart and soul. Whoa. I'm calling, Father, I'm calling. I'm falling, falling to my knees. I've gotta have absolution. Don't leave me where I am.
right, this is KLBP. My name is Jeff Guarino. This is
Dean Westerfield, and we're sitting with Divine Weeks.
And yeah, we just listened to Heart and Soul and
recorded live here in the studio.
First time I've ever seen that. As you're well aware, if you've been listening to the show for a while, I am the novice here in music in a number of ways. And watching you guys play, hearing and seeing the energy, recording it with my little phone, and seeing and hearing the beautiful way you play the guitar. I could listen to you play guitar all day long, and seeing the kind of energy you put into the singing. I mean,
wait till you see them live, the full band.
It was so much fun. You guys are just pouring yourselves into it, and I can see it. And you're listening to each other, just having fun, going back and forth with each other. You're just feeling it. I don't know how to talk about music, but I'm trying because I was so much enjoying it.
It is about feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, it's great to be in a comfortable room. It's great to be here with you guys.
Do you guys want to go ahead and you have a reunion show? I don't even want to call it a reunion, but you guys have a show coming up the 21st. You want to give it a quick plug, where it's at and when?
Yeah, just coming up Saturday, May 21st, a place called Fais Do Do, which I was telling you earlier. It's actually an old jazz club. Some of the giants played there, you know, Billie Holiday and Coltrane, I believe. It's down there, I guess you'd call it mid LA. It's like on Adams Boulevard near La Brea, and this is a funky little place. And you know, we're financing the whole thing just so it's not like one of those things like as soon as you play and then you hear a ridiculous announcement, "Thank you for your patronage, now leave."
Elvis has left the building.
Right, exactly. Right. So it's you come on down. It's a free show, by the way.
Awesome.
And so just you come on down, and we're gonna get our yayas out, and we suggest everyone do the same.
I'm gonna be there. I'm looking forward to it.
We're saving a spot for you.
All right, got a question for you. The name Divine Weeks. I never knew where the title came, the band name came from, except it sounds vaguely literary. Would you fill us in?
Yes, you go back to medieval times. We originally were called The Need, which sounded too mod. Way back when, and then when it was time to put out a record, just like this music we just recorded doesn't sound like The Need. And we had to come up with another name, and our bass player George, he was an English lit major, and we just racked our brains, and so he says, here's something, Divine Weeks. It's in my studies, which didn't sound very rock and roll. But he said, but really, it's kind of like the Catcher in the Rye of the medieval era, which was total baloney.
Yeah,
so what piece of literature was it?
It's what's the guy's name?
Chaucer or
Descartes? No,
Descartes too late.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
All right. Well, you can study up, and then we'll see how
he conned us on the name.
He conned us is what I'm trying to get at. And DeBars? What was this name? God, how embarrassing. Anyway, but the point is, we just couldn't do it anymore. Like you go through 1,000 different names, and so
it's a great name. I mean, it evokes a lot of images.
He likes it.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, we dig it. So you've recorded a new album, and Raj, when you stepped out of the car, that was one of the first things. The guitar sound on this new album, it doesn't sound anything like the first album. There's a first album through and through. I still like it. I listened to it again after 20 years. I listened to it. I still like it. There's good stuff on there. It wasn't recorded great, but man, this new album, your guitar, it just sounds so clean. And I just really thought you guys were recording this thing in piecemeal and putting it together and like just fine-tuning it, and you guys recorded it live.
Yeah,
you want to give us a little bit of background on the recording of this thing?
Yeah, thanks for saying that. When Bill and I were writing the songs, we would meet in at my house every Sunday morning, and when we were trying to connect, we did it electric. I had my guitar plugged in, he had a microphone going through an amp, and we were at a low volume, and so when I was approaching the sound, what is my sound, back in the old days, it was the louder, play loud and you'll get a great sound. And I'm still loud, but it was always about get a great sound when you're soft.
I think it was more like trying to make people deaf.
Yeah,
so they didn't hear the mistakes.
I made myself deaf. Yeah, in the process.
Well, I just white. I mean, just like kind of white noise, and I was telling Jeff driving up here, just trying to describe what these guys sounded like.
Yeah.
And this is so different, so clean, beautiful.
It was
chimey, bell-like almost.
Thank you so much for saying that, because I wanted it to sound as I have a Les Paul going through a Marshall tube amp, And sometimes, a lot of players, me included, would overload all these effects on to color the sound, and I didn't want that. I spent a lot of time just saying, what is the best combination for this guitar, this amp, these sets of tubes? What will make it sound great? And it was months and months of just tweaking this knob, and looking at YouTube videos and saying, how do you get the best out of this little amp I bought used and the guitar? And then you say, okay, now you've got that sound and the tonality of the sound. Okay, now I just want to add a little bit of compression onto it, a little bit of distortion, and just not too much. And it's funny because I bought this pedal that does 199 things, and I use just one set.
Yeah.
that's all I do.
Always the case.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
It's a beautiful sounding record.
Well, thank
it truly
you.
is.
Thank you very much.
Not to leave you out, Bill.
I just like to say I'm so very happy for Raj. He's represented on record the way I've always known he plays. And as I told you, we were talking earlier about how bands are never in the studio at the right time. We certainly were cursed by that. Our best sound or whatever is captured somewhere out in Tulsa, Oklahoma or something. So this, for me, I'm happy for my friend who has been captured, not without a lot of work and blood, sweat, and tears. So joy to him.
It was, you're always tempted when you go in a recording studio, and you kind of like we were with the first record, Through and Through. You kind of like kids in the candy store. Wow, I want to try that, and I want to try this, and there's a great amp in the corner.
Flip every knob, right?
Absolutely. And
we needed a timeout, though.
We just
too much sugar.
Too much sugar, right? This time it wasn't that. This time it was, we know what we sound like. We have to sound like us. And there's plenty of mistakes on the record and this and that, but it was okay. We just is this what we sound like? Is this what we sounded like in our living room? Is this what we sounded like with Dave, the drummer, and the bass player, Steve Soto and Mike Lawrence? And this is, hopefully we've captured that.
Well, you're going to capture it right now because we're going to have you play another song.
Great.
And tell me, are you willing to do 2 back-to-back?
Sure.
All right. So what are you guys going to play?
The first one we're going to do is Dreamers of the Day. And that's kind of like our song, our story, coming out of the book, 33 Days, the song that should have been written at the time of the book. And it's sort of like heading out into the hinterlands looking for converts, following the breadcrumbs left by the Minutemen and Husker-Du and those guys.
What do you want to do after that? Let's do...
Inagata Davida, wasn't it?
No, we're going to... Let's do Built My Life?
We'll do Built My Life. Okay, so it's a twofer.
All right, this is KLBP. This is the Westerino Show with Divine Weeks.
We set out for the hinterlands, filled with wanderlust. Well, we followed the breadcrumbs our heroes left for us. When they turn those floodlights on, we said aim and let fly. Blood brothers on my left and on my right. I was spinning round and round. I was lost and I was found. Music was my salvation, liberation, excitation. Hearts on our sleeves, eyes are wide. Dreamers of the day and the night. I close my eyes and see us there, young and full of desire. Well, I got faith to burn, my heart is still on fire. And we thought the world was ours, and we knew no bounds. But I wouldn't go back, not with the fire that's in me now. I was spinning round and round. I was lost, I was found. Music was my salvation, liberation, excitation. Hearts on something that burns so bright doesn't burn for long, but it still lives inside of us. It keeps me moving along. I'm still reaching for the light, still dreamer of the day and the night. Of the night, of the night, of the night, of the night. I was spinning round and round. I was lost and I was found. Music was my salvation, liberation, excitation. Hearts on our sleeves, eyes are wide, dreamers of the day and the night. I was broken, going down, till you claimed me from the lost and found, where you loved me without condition, no defenses, no suspicion, where you reached up and took my hand, and you told me who I am, where you freed me, you redeemed me, so I could be the father that I've never had. I was lost till you came to my rescue. I built my life around you. I built my life around you. Now I've got to let you fly. Don't look back, I'll be alright. 'Cause your time has come to shine, and all your dreams are before your eyes. I was lost till you came to my rescue. I built my life around you. I built my life around you. Big city's gonna call your name. Ain't nobody's gonna get in your way or knock you down. Well, you get up. Don't let nobody judge the things that you love. Alright. Alright. There's a light, and you gotta let it shine. Oh, there's a light, and you gotta let it shine. Whoa, there's a light, and you gotta let it shine, shine, shine. Whoa, it hurts so bad, I know I gotta let you go. I'm so glad I built my life around you. I'm so glad I built my life around you. I'm so glad I built my life around you. And I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing.
And we're back, KLBP 99.1 Low Power FM, the Long Beach Radio Project, the Westerino Show. Coming out of the Devero Sound Experience, we've got to give a big shout out to Paul and Teo Grasham, who have done an outstanding job for us today. Going to be mixing the music and recording all the songs you just heard, and they've been helping us out greatly the last chunk of weeks putting down this show.
And
here.
we're sitting here with Divine Weeks, who have a show on May 21st at, I can never remember the name
Fais
of the
Do
place,
Do.
in Los Angeles. They go on at 9:15.
Yeah.
The explosion will happen.
Yes.
You guys, those songs were beautiful. Did you want to say anything about either of them?
Yeah, talk a little bit. I was saying I love hearing people talk about their lyrics.
Well, that last one, Built My Life Around You, that was, I dropped my daughter off in New York a couple years ago to start launching her dreams, and, like we did many years ago, and so that's kind of like letting go. Got to let go. No matter how much you might hurt, you got to let them go do their thing, and, because, the big city was calling her name.
My daughter just went off to college 2 months ago. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It seems strange. It's gone by fast. The old
He's a
cliche.
sad daddy.
But, yeah, it's strange letting it go. What's her dream? I'm curious.
She's actress.
Cool.
Yeah, just picking something real practical. Something with a lot of
Music,
guarantees.
acting, comic books. Yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier.
Rock and roll.
We were talking earlier
all
about
that reliable stuff.
like what we're talking earlier about, like what's different for touring for indie bands then and now. I mean, like one of the things that we were blessed with is being, as I said, kind of blind and stupid and not really realizing how far off in the distance the goal is. And it's great to not know that, to kind of be unaware.
Naive to it, yeah.
And what's harder now is the fact that all the information, it's right in your face, and so you're just literally standing at the foot of Everest going, my God, really?
And the mistakes just become that much larger
Yeah,
because
and
it was in
like-
front of your face,
Yeah.
right?
And
Where
then-
before you go, I didn't know because we were just kids and nobody told us.
Yeah, and every single article you read, I like this new actor, and like second graph of it's always Meryl Streep's son or daughter or somebody.
Right.
Like, just please, enough.
Yep. All right, we're gonna have to ask you about the brothel. Was it Calgary or
Calgary.
Okay, you guys played a 3-night stand
Yes,
on your
I
first
think so,
tour.
yeah.
Yes.
I think you played 2 nights each of the 3 nights, two
sets
sets.
a night.
Two sets, yeah.
But
to
to
put it-
it's at a brothel.
To put it in context, though, you have to understand the 1988 Summer Olympics were coming. This was right before then. So that was what happened. It was literally like the whole city took a big broom and just swept all the riffraff and scum and crap into this 4-block area, which we were playing at, called the National Hotel, which, as I was telling you, I've just received word has now been leveled and is like a nice little foodie emporium, like the nicest place in town.
Yeah, this is
exactly.
depressing.
But yes, at the time, it was a rock club / brothel where
Wow.
the hotel rented rooms by the hour.
Awesome.
Yes.
And so we were in, when we first checked in, I think we had, was it 2 rooms? We were split. And then at some point, they knock on the door and they say, we need you guys to all stay in one room. And the whole place is empty. I'm like, why do you need us to stay in one room? Like, we need this room. Like, oh, okay, we get it.
And then
Exactly.
moments later.
After that, we were just afraid to use their bed sheets.
Oh, well, you didn't
at
do that.
point.
But you slept on top,
Yeah,
right?
you had to sleep
of
on
course,
top
we had
because of the
sleeping
crabs.
bags.
Yeah. And the place is run by this guy named Caesar, who was just literally a guy who looked like he crawled out of a rock, and he was just such an awful person and put us through the steps towards hell. I mean, poor Raj got practically murdered by his lynchmen. Raj was like doing his normal thing, like jamming his guitar into the roof. Like, what's the problem, people? And
Build a roof low.
What's
it's
the
gonna
problem?
roof. What are you
He does it every night. And then he got dragged off the stage and then thrown into like the Dirthead bar in the back and cornered by all his freaks.
It was one of those things, you get pulled in the back, and then, you get pulled into the back room with this pool, and everybody stops and just looks and sees this, this troll Caesar throwing me against the back
And you're
wall.
not exactly a big guy
No,
here.
I'm
I mean,
pretty,
you're
pretty small
yeah.
guy. Yeah. And so Caesar's throwing me against the wall, and everyone just stops and looks. I'm like, okay, this is where life ends, you know. And
Well, he was alone for a minute because we were still on stage with our jaws on the floor. Like, what just happened? We were playing while he got dragged off, and we're just like, what? And then so Raj is alone. Like finally, our drummer throws down his drumsticks and goes back here. Come on, Raj, you're not taking any of this crap. Like, he finally rescued him. But that was like one of many just wacko things that happened that whole weekend.
Which just makes it all the more fun.
But we got our revenge.
yeah, we did.
Also,
Our little hoop complex of destroying hotels. Kind of, we got our, when we left, we trashed our room and stole a bunch of crap and left a nasty message for Caesar with duct tape
With
on his walls.
red duct tape. Yeah.
Red duct tape, no
Red
less.
duct tape.
Well,
Can
it
you
was,
swear
it was
on-
a brothel,
can you
so
swear
red
on
duct
the-
tape.
I don't want to swear.
We can't swear.
Okay.
But you can swear if you
F
want.
Caesar and duct tape wall of revolutionary.
Right on the stage, right near where the hole was. So that was good.
Well, you guys, we really had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just watching you play and watching you warm up. And thank you for making the
guys.
drive down to Long Beach.
Yeah.
That was great.
And
thank you guys. Yeah, a lot of fun watching.
let's run the plugs here real quick. So Divine Weeks, the new album is called, I got to look at the, See Those? Yes. See Those Landing Lights, which is available on their webpage, which is divineweeks.com, correct?
Yes, and if you want to make sure we get a fraction of a penny, please go to Spotify.
Or iTunes.
Please don't,
or,
actually.
yeah.
iTunes and all the rest
Google
of it.
Play and all that.
But come May 21st to Fais Do Do for the show, the CD will be on sale there. And I think there's some free download cards. Just ask me, I'll give it to you. Because we didn't get into this racket for the money, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
We just want you to hear the music, we believe in it, and,
It's a free show.
you know,
Come on down.
yeah, money back guarantee.
I'm going to be there. So, again, thanks for coming down,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Really had
Thank
a
you.
lot of fun.
Absolutely.
This is KLBP, Long Beach Radio Project, 99.1.